47.
At least I made a Kiddush Hashem. I wouldn't lie.
It's an English funny story, you know.
No. I think in Gersh's credit, he heard the word contempt, so he made a Gezerah Shava.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Good. We were certainly Yaitz and Milta the B'dichus before learning tonight, for sure. All right. Okay. Chutz Pachas B'Shav Pruta, right? So on Kuf Hey Amid Aleph, about, 8 lines down by the 2 dots. 10 lines down. Chutz Pachas Shav Pruta B'ker. So he said that if the guy has less than a Shava Pruta, meaning he was Michael, the victim, I guess, was Michael, the whole Geneva, except for less than a Shava Pruta. So obviously, as we all know, less than a Shava Pruta, you're not Mechayev. Yeah, you're not Chayev to return it because it doesn't exist. So Amar Rav Papa Loishon Relashain Gezela Kamas. This that we say that he doesn't have to return him that less than Shava Pruta. That's if the Gezela no longer exists, right? It was destroyed, or was money that was spent of a Gezela Kayemes. But if the Gezela is still around, Tzarech Leilech Acharov, he has to go chase him down all the way to Madai. Why? It's worth less than a Shava Pruta. You don't have to give it back. Chashin and Shemet Tiyaka, because we're afraid. Well, what happens if the price goes up on this thing? Right? Let's say it's a tenth of a slice from Bogos, or something like that, right? And it's worth less than a Shava Pruta. But how do you know that between now and Motzei Shabbos, it's not going to go up, or now and tomorrow, it's not going to go up? Then you have to return it. That's the first girsa. Ikadamri, Amara Papa, the opposite. Loishna Gezela Kayemis, Loishna Shein Gezela Kayemis. Doesn't make a difference if Gezela is around or it's not around. Ein Tzarech Leilach Achara. You don't have to go after the guy. The Shemet Tiyaka Leilach, and we're not chayshid that the price of this thing that's worth less than a Shava Pruta is going to go up. Yeah? Okay, so there's 2 girsayos. Whether it makes a difference is less than Shava Pruta. So Amar Rava. Now we have a bunch of interesting stories. Amar Aleph is easy tonight. Amar Bey is a little bit harder. Amar Rava. Gazel Shalish Agudas B'Shalish Prutas. Let's say a guy stole 3 Aguda, means literally a bundle. But each bundle, I don't know what it was a bundle of. But he stole 3 items, and each one was worth a pruta. For Huzlu, and then they had a devaluation. It went down. Huzlu means to go down. And now it was only 2 prutas. So these 3 agudas, the price went down. It used to be 3 agudas for 3 prutas. Then it went down to 3 agudas for 2 prutas. So then was it
3 for the price of 2?
Correct. It went on sale. Bingo came to town. Prices came down. There you go. Halavai. Right? Today's daf. It's mamish taka. Yeah. So im hichser lo shtayim. So let's say the guy gives him back 2. So now he's left holding 1 of these agudas, which is less. Certainly, it's worth less than a shava pruta. So now chayev lachser le'acheres. He still has to give him back that other one, right? Even though it's not worth a pruta, because it was part of. And Rashi is using us to chase him to mother, right? So you still have to do it because it sort of gets grandfathered in with the other ones. The Tana.
Yeah, is the Chiddush that he has to return it, or he has to return it even to chase him to mother? Because of course he has to return it. It's not his.
No, less than
meaning I don't know, but I did, but definitely, to be Yaitse, Videi Shemaim, he has to return it.
Less than a shava pruta?
It's not his. Yeah. Fine, not Alstine Mamas, but he still has to return it, no? Person doesn't have to return something that's not his, even if it's worth less than a shava pruta?
You're not Alstine Mamas, you're not mechuyev to. Could be Dina Shemaim, you're mechuyev to. Right?
Yeah.
You missed the Musa Seder. This is a Gemara.
The Gemara deals in Din Shemayim also sometimes. It's not always just Minadin.
Sometimes, true. The Tanatuna.
Why isn't this a steer to Rava and Samach A? Rava says if it goes down to Valley of Mishal and Ken Shagaza.
It goes down and that yes, but those have to do with this. Now it's just worth less than a shava pruta. The bottom line is right now it's worth less than a shava pruta.
He still has to be Mishalim Ken Shagazel. Ken Shagazel, he stole 3. Now he's giving back 2. Even if he gives the third one back, he's still only giving back 2.
I understand, but I think once it's worth less than a shava pruta, then I think
You should have to give back. No, I'm saying you should have to give back a pruta, not the bundle.
you want to give back a pruta. I hear the kasha.
And it's Rava.
Right.
It's here in Rava.
Right. So Elamai must be that I'm right. It's less than a shava pruta.
Right. The steer is less than a shava pruta, so it's not as.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So the Tana tuna. So we have a Tana to prove this. Gazel chametz over a Pesach, right? So the guy steals chametz and Pesach passed over it. No pun intended, right? But Aimer loy harei shel chalafanecha. So what does he do? He tells him because now it's asa b'hana because it went over Pesach. So he tells him here's your chametz, and that's it. It is what it is, as they say, right? Taimadi sabeine. So he gives it back because the chametz was in the world. But let's say it wasn't in the world. So he can't tell him harei shel chalafanecha. Even though right now it's not worth anything because wherever it was in the world it would be worthless. But since in the beginning it was worth money, so he has to pay. So here too, let me just finish. Even though right now the agud is not worth a shava pruta, since it was originally worth a shava pruta, he has to pay. Right? Meaning when something is no longer in existence, you have to pay what it was worth when you stole it. If it's still in existence, you just give it back to the guy, and you say harei shel chalafanecha. So the chametz, even though it's there, but it's worthless, right? Yeah. What do you want to say, Ravar?
I'm following up on what Akiva said a few minutes ago. The chametz shavala pesach is also midrabanan or deraisa.
The Rabbanon.
Derabanan. So you stole 100. You sold erev pesach. You stole $100 worth of matzah from me. Now the Chacham said this is worth nothing. It's not the same. You are even this is the rice of stealing $100 from me. And I'm not sure what to do with it, but this is only us now with the Rabbanon.
Correct. That's true. That's true. Yes. But nice, it's worthless. At the end of the day, it's worthless.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some lumdish shaylas.
Worthless. I can't sell it to a guy.
No, you can't. How much all person you can't sell to a guy?
A guy can't be. Then I can't feed it to my animals.
No, you cannot feed it to your animals. A guy, your cleaning lady can take it, but that's it. Yeah, it's not. Ask any of the bourbon drinkers. They're very bakant in this. They know this halacha very well because they're all stressed out because half of them are chametz olav pesach. Right?
Yep.
They can't even feed it to their dogs. Right? So yeah. Boy, Robert. So Robert had a shayla. Gazel shtei agudas papruta. So now he sold two. He stole. I'm sorry. 2 agudas, but they were only worth a pruta. And then he gives back one of them. Mao. What's it then? Do we say right now there's no gizela? Right? Because it's worth less than a pruta. Or he did not give back his gazela, which is sort of the tzad that Akiva was saying before. Lamaisa, it was stolen. You have the stolen property by you. Right? So the Gemara answers, Harda Pashta, Gazela Einkan, Hashava Einkan. So he says, there's no Gazela here. Right? There's no Gazela here, and there's no Hashava either. So Gemara asks right away, Gazela Einkan. If there's no Gazela here, right, then Hashava Yeshkan, and then you're saying that there's a Hashava here. Meaning, if you're saying that it's not considered geneva, so why are you saying that there is a hashava? I'm saying that there isn't a hashava. So this is what it means. Even though there's no gazela here, mitzvah hashava ein kan. There's no mitzvah hashava either. Meaning, you got to give it back. But even if you do give it back, you're not makayim the mitzvah of hashavas gazela. Right? Meaning, he's supposed to give it back, but you're still not getting the mitzvah of hashavas because hashavas gazela, because lemaisa is worth less than a pruta. Fine. Why aren't
they mitzvahs? If he gave them both back together, he would have hashavas gazela.
Right.
So now he returned one. Once he returns the second one, why isn't that a hashavah?
I guess we're looking that once he gave it back, so that's the end of the transaction.
So he didn't get a hashava at all. The first one was a half a pruta, the second one was a half a pruta. He returned a half a pruta, he gets no hashava for the first one. How long does he have?
I don't know. So that's really from the next Gemara with the hair from the Nazir, saying it's going to be the same situation. Right, so let's see. Nazir shegilach v'shayar shtei cyrus. If you have a Nazir, right? So we know that the din is we haven't had Nazir in a long time, right? But a Nazir has to shave his head after his term. He has to shave his head. So let's say Nazir shegilach v'shayar shtei cyrus. He left over 2 hairs. Loy asav loy klum. So he did nothing, meaning he shaved his head for no reason. Boy Rava. So Rava asked, so gilach achas v'noshra achas. So now he shaved his whole head except for 2 hairs. Then he shaved one, and one fell out. Mahu. Is he considered that he shaved his head and he's good to go, or does he have to wait until the hair on his head grows back, and then he has to do it again? Right? Meaning you have to shave your head, right? And then he's good. Then he can bring the carbon, right? He shaves his head before the carbon, yeah, I think, if I remember correct. Right? So if he shaves his head before the carbon, so he has to shave his head before the carbon. Here he left 2 hairs. Then one he shaved and one fell out. So is that being Mekayim mitzvah of shaved head or not? So Amar Le Rav Achim Ravina Nazir Shigilach Achas can be Rava. Is Rava asking about a Nazir who's shaving 1 hair at a time? For sure, if the Nazir shaves 1 hair at a time, although it might be time consuming, right? But he's for sure yaitze his mitzvah of shaving his head if he did 1 at a time. Meaning, what's the time frame that you have, right? You could do 1 at a time. So Amrale, no, that's not light tzricha. No, we need the case. 1 fell out, and then he shaved the other one. So we say, well, right now he doesn't have the 2 hairs, right? It's not a shave. A shave needs to be a minimum of 2 hairs. Because in the beginning he left over 2 hairs. And now when he's shaving, there's no 2 cyrus. All right. So from this we see, by the way, that the shear to be chayiv on shaving or payas or whatever it is 2 cyrus. Right. 2 cyrus. That's what they bring a raya from. That's considered 2 hairs. Yeah. So anyway, so that was the shayla. So now is he yaitz? Is he not yaitz? Hadar pashta seir in ein kan. There's no hair. There's no hair here. Right. Giluach ein kan, and there's no shaving here either. So when I ask iseir ein kan, well, if you're saying there's no hair, then giluach, then there is giluach, right? Meaning if there's no hair, that means he's shaved. Right? The whole point is that he should have a bald head. Right? So when it answers Hachikamar, Afapi, Shaseir Enkan, Mitzvahs Kiluach Enkan. Again, the same thing as we said by the Geneva. Even though there's no hair here, right? But you still don't have the mitzvah. Right? Meaning, so therefore he cannot be considered like he is balded. And he's gonna have to wait till his hair grows back and reshave it in order to be yotze the mitzvah. Right?
Why is this the same? This should be a stira to what he said earlier. if we're comparing it to Gzela. Here, it's only because Nashra. If he shaved one hair and then 5 minutes later shaved the other, we would say for sure, everyone would agree that's considered Giluach. Why by Gzela do we not say he returned one, now he returned the other one? It's considered Ashava.
Again, I don't know. I thought maybe this answered your question. I guess not.
It's Galuk Ma'akav the Korban.
Yes.
What if the guy was bald?
I mean, he
There's
doesn't.
there's not possible to do
Someone asked
Galuk.
that. Nazir asks that, if I remember correct. I have no recollection what it says, but it asks.
Not Ma'akav. Giluach is only Ma'akav when he has hair. He has to have no hair to bring the card.
But this guy shaved his hair,
The
and
mitzvah is to do Giluach.
Let it grow. He'll have to. If he shaves his hair, he'll have to let it grow, and then well, he's gonna let it grow. Nazir. He was a Nazir.
30 days. We had this. He has to wait 30 days.
Right.
if it doesn't regrow back, if it doesn't regrow back, then he's no different than somebody's bald. Then it's not. Then
But it's, I don't know. I don't know.
ask your local rabbi.
A bald one, preferably. Yeah, Vaita V'Amar Rava. Third case. Hare Amru Chavis Shenikva. Also, this is for the Kahanim amongst us, right? So we know that the Tumas oil will travel through if there's a tefach of space. If there's a hole with a tefach, so then the tumah will travel through to the next floor or whatever. But if there's no hole of tefach, then the tumah stays on the first floor. Let's say you have a two-floor house or in a hospital, right? If the doors are all closed and everything is sealed, the tumah is not going to go up to the second floor. But if there's a tefach space, then it will. So if you stuff it up, then that will block it, right? So basically, you took a barrel that had a hole in it and you stuffed it up. It's a smua shvarim, and you stuffed up the hole with shmarim, which is the junk from the bottom of a barrel, from the bottom of a grape barrel, from a wine barrel. So you have the junk on the bottom. I guess it's
the sediments.
Sediments. There you go. Right. So you take the sediments and you stuff up the hole. So it's ilua, right? That saves it. Meaning that will save the tumah. It keeps the tumah in the house. Agaf chatziyamau. What happens if you only put a seal on on half the hole, right?
It's not a seal.
What?
Sealing half a hole is not a seal.
Well, it's a seal. It's a seal to make it less than a tefach.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Meaning you sealed it half. I mean, I guess you're saying sealed is the wrong terminology. I don't know what.
No, but I didn't know it had to be. I didn't know about the tefach thing. I'm sorry.
No. So you did a partial. You stuffed up the hole partially. Right. So the question is, do we say since it was a full open hole and it's not fully stuffed up, so therefore it's still considered like it's fully open, or do we say no? Bottom line is that the opening right now is less than a tefach, so everything is okay. Everything on the second floor is not tummy. This is not a mishnah. This is not a mishnah. If you have a barrel that had a hole in it and you filled it up with shmarim, so that saves everything on the second floor. Pocket cup is myras. Let's say you stuffed it up with myras. Myra is branches from vines, right? I imagine it means any type of leaves, right? So pocket myra achi mereach until it's not gonna mean anything until you have to actually smear something in there. Meaning you have to put whatever you're gonna use. Glue, cement, meaning just stuffing it up with leaves is not considered stuffing. You got to put some sort of binding. Shmirzach, yeah, you got to put some shmirzach there. But let's say there were two vines in there, and then you have to smear it from on the sides. And in between each zmira. Meaning you can't, if you have 2 vines, so you have to put cement or whatever it is all around. Time of the mara. So the reason is because the reason why it's considered sealed is because he put the cement there or whatever it is, mud. But if he didn't, it's not. Right? Why can't it be like the case where half of that opening is closed? Right? So you see that a half a opening is going to be considered like it's totally open. So when I answer Amri Hachi Hashtachasam Ilay Marach Loikoi. There, if you don't put the shmirzach, you don't put the cement around the vine, it's not going to stay. So therefore, it's considered like it's open. But agav chetzia v'midi the koi koi. But if you take the opening of a tefach and you put some mud there or cement, and that's going to stay forever. So therefore, it's considered like the hole is blocked up. Okay, so those are the 3 similar questions about partial. One is one about partial geneva being returned, which is less than a shavapruta. One is about partial shaving the head for a nazir, and one was a partial closing for tum. Fine. Now, if you don't like shvua, halachas of making shvuas, then you're out for the next 2 blocks. Because basically, this is going to be all swearing all the time, not swearing, that type of swearing, meaning swearing for in Bezdin. So V'amar Rav, we said Gazal chametz over Pesach. We said if you steal chametz and Pesach passed over it, I'm rely. So what does the crook do? He just says, here's your chametz. It's right here. It was here before Pesach. It's here after Pesach. This is it. Go ahead and it's yours. Which again, we didn't understand this whole thing because it's a chutzpah, right? It's the same thing like Aaron Kaplan said last week. You took the Super Bowl ticket from the guy Sunday morning and you gave it back to him Monday morning. You say, here's your ticket. Right? I took your ticket, I gave you back your ticket. So you go steal from a guy's chametz on the day before Pesach. He can't sell his chametz, he can't do anything with his chametz, and you give it back to him the day after Pesach. Say, here's your stuff. Right? Why is that fair? I don't know, but that's the din. Right? So Rava had a shaila on the base now. Nishba love mahu. If you swore, right? Let's say the Ganav swore that he didn't have it, right? And then obviously he got caught. So now we know when a Ganav swears and he gets caught, he has to add a 5th, and he has to bring a korban asham. Meaning he swore about it on Pesach. Bezdin opened up a special Bezdin on Chol HaMoed. I don't remember if Bezdin's open on Chol HaMoed or not, but they opened up a special Bezdin to try and catch this guy. And on Chol HaMoed Pesach, he swears that he did not steal the chametz. Right? Then, right after Pesach, Eidim come, or they find the chametz in the guy's house. So now he swore falsely. The only thing is he swore falsely on something that's not going to cost the owner anything. He didn't make the owner lose out by swearing because the chametz is already also bahana. Right? So does he have to pay the 5th and does he have to pay the korban asham? Meaning, does there have to be a gain on the half of the person who falsely lied in order for him to be liable for another 5th and for an asham? That's essentially the shaila that's going to take us this whole amud. So nishvala mao miyamrin on kiman de imigna vayishlomelei. Do we say no? Since if somebody would come steal the chametz from the crook, right, which would be the eitzah, right? Because if you steal the chametz from the crook, it's no longer in the world. So then if the crook no longer has it, so the day after Pesach, the guy can come back and say, okay, give me back my stolen chametz. If he can't, like we said on Amud Aleph, if he doesn't have it, he can't say, here's your chametz, take it back. Because since he doesn't have it, he has to pay like it was the time of stealing. Right? So he really is gaining by his shua.
Yaakov, is this probably the shaila or the whether it's considered mammon or not? Didn't we say the fact that, let's say somebody took something from a ganef and he's now mechayev him? Do we have a shaila if that's considered a minor or not? Isn't there like a machlekes tanaim if that's considered mammon or machlekes amarayim it's considered mammon?
What are you saying? It's what? Yeah. What is that? You saying
is this probably in that shaila or everyone agrees to the shaila? Is Rava's shaila even according to Aman Yamar, because according to Aman Yamar, l'chayr is mama. No, if you're mazik something, and you cause this ganef to have to pay, would that be? Isn't that a whole shiloh if that's considered mama or not?
Yes.
Right. So I'm asking, is this according to only one of those shitas?
No, I don't think so, because here you need it.
But
Right,
according to that shita that holds it is mammon over there, then of course it's mammon. Why is it a shiloh? You're coughing in a mammon.
But no, because it kicks back to what it was worth before, I think.
Until you're mazik. What do you mean? Over there we said that it's considered mammon, no?
Yeah, but not when it goes over Pesach, it's a different din.
No, we said even after Pesach it would be considered mammon because you're mechayiv him something because
Only,
it's something that would pater him from the achi of mammon. If you lose it,
only
it's considered mammon over there.
That's only if the chametz is not here.
No, but we said it's considered mammon. That's what the whole over there said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not so sad in these blot that I forget one blot from the next. These are so confusing. If I'd remember them, I'd have Akiva's issues, but I don't. So I don't have it. I don't have these issues. Right? Whatever. It's so much information. But anyways, so okay, let's see. Again, the whole shaila here is when a guy makes a false shvua for a geneva, and there's nothing he's gaining out of making the shvua. Is he still liable for a chaimish and asham? So again, miyamrin on top line. Kivanti migna ba'ishlumile. Since it got stolen, he needs to pay. So basically, he denied this money, and he would gain something from it. Right now, the chametz is right here. But after ba'amu, it's considered dirt because it's worthless. It's also ba'anah. And he didn't deny any money. The thing that he swore about was worthless. Yeah, so again, he's not getting the Tzaddik of the Year award for swearing falsely, but bottom line is he had no financial gain from this shvua. So the answer is Milsidi, Rava, Rava. This was Rava's shaila, but Rava says it's Pasha. Dama Rava, Shari Ganaf. The guy goes over to his friend and says, "You stole my ox." Bu Amar Loy Ganaf. He says, "I didn't steal it." So then he says to him, Mativa Yatzacha. So why is my cow or my ox sitting in your yard? Right? So he catches him red-handed. So he says, no, I didn't steal it. I'm watching it for you. And obviously, it's talking about where he swore. Chayiv. If he did, then he's chayiv, and he gets caught. He's chayiv to bring an asham and pay the fifth. Right? Sharei potter atzme b'gnei aveda, because he potted himself in b'gnei aveda, meaning he never denied that. He never denied that it wasn't his cow, right? The guy told him, you stole my cow. He says back to him, I did not steal your cow. He says, so then why is my cow by you? He doesn't say that, he doesn't deny. He says, it is your cow, but you gave it, I'm a shomer. Right? So he never denied, and he swore. He never swore that the cow is his. He just swore that he'll be out of einsim, but he's still, even with what the swearing that he did, he's still gaining something. Right? Because now he would be potter from Gnei Vaveda. If it was stolen, he'd be chayiv in einsim, but now it's potter Gnei Vaveda. Shomer Sachar ani Yelav, or he said, I was a Shomer Sachar, meaning you're paying me. He's also chayiv sherei potter atzmi shura mesa. Now, if the animal broke or died, he would be off the hook. He says shoyel in Yelav, I borrowed it. Chayiv, he's still chayiv sherei potter atzmi mesa machas halacha. A shoyel is chayiv in everything because he borrowed for free, but if it dies with basic use, then the guy would be potter. So in all these cases, he did gain from making the shvua. Again, even though he never said the shar is his, he always said that the shar belonged to the guy who he stole from. Right? He never denied that. The only thing is, he's still chayiv because he made a shvua that would give him some form of gain. So the Gemara says, even though the animal is standing right there, kiven de'i mignav mamayna kakavar, But since if it was stolen, right, he is going to be denying that he has to pay, right? Meaning because he said he was a shomer, so hashtanam manikukover. So now, he's by him making the shvua, he is considered like he's denying money, even though right now the shor is here. Meaning, if the shor wasn't here, he'd be gaining something with the shvua. So since if the shor wasn't here, he'd be gaining something with the shvua, then he's chayim on the shvua, even though the shor is here, and his shvua really accomplished nothing. Hachanami, so too in our case, even though chametz is dirt, since if somebody comes and steals the chametz from the crook who stole it, and then if that's the case, the crook would be on the hook, right? So, but he swore. So since potentially he could have a savings from a shvua, so hashtanami ma'aynakakafrele, then we look at it like it's mammon that he's denying, and he is fine. Meaning he's fine. He is fined. He's fined the fifth, and he has to pay a korban osher. Right. So again, that's the machlokes Rabba and Rava. Again, the main yesod that we're disagreeing. The machlokes is about is if a guy makes a shvua, and right now there's no gain from him making the shvua, but there's a potential gain down the road if theoretically something happened to the animal, then are we mechayim a chaimish and an osham for a potential gain? Rava says yes. Rava says Rava didn't know. Right? Okay, so then second wide line down, Yosef Rava, Bach changes it to Rava. The Kamma Lashmait. So he said over this din. So Rava, so Rava has the kasha to Rava, the Kichashba, the pasuk says, and he denied it. Right? Prat l'moide be'ikr. That's excluding somebody who admits to the ikr, right? Meaning he admits that the shor is not his, right? Meaning he's lying that he was stolen. He says he didn't steal it. He said it's whatever. We're going to see, like exactly what we saw before, which is that he says he's a shomer, meaning he had it behetin. So he's not. The only thing he was lying about is that he wasn't a crook. He was not lying that he should be able to keep the cow. So we're saying problem by the vicar. Ketzad shayri ganavta. The guy says you stole my shor. I'm like ganavta. He says I didn't steal it. Mativa yatzachos. So what is it doing by you? So he says ata machartali. You sold it to me. Ata nasatali. You gave it to me matana. Avicha machuli. Your father sold it to me. Avicha nasali matana. Your father gave it to me matana. Achar parasi rats. It ran after my para into my house. Me'ela ba etzli. It came by itself. I found it wandering in the streets, and I brought it in. Or I'm a paid watchman. I borrowed it. And he made a shvua, and then he admitted that he was actually a ganav. Right. So again, he never denied. He always said that the shor belongs to the guy who was complaining about it. Right, but he swore that he wasn't a crook. So he swore falsely, but he had no financial gain out of it. So you would think he's chayiv. It says you have to deny it. Prat l'mayda be'ikr. It comes to exclude somebody who's mayda that the ikr thing is true. So meaning if he's mayda that the shor belonged to the guy, then even though he lied and said he wasn't a crook and he really was, he's potter from a shvua. So it's a stira. We just got finished saying, according to Rabbah, that he would be chayiv because there's a potential loss. So Gemara says, Amarle Tedura, which is quite a fascinating answer. Rashi says, Ein Leiv, you have no heart. Right? I don't know exactly what that's. So if you look at the Masaras Hashas, he says Tardim Meshuamam. He says you're Meshuga, right? So he told his Talmud, you're Meshuga. Your kasha is a stupid kasha. That's essentially what he told him. It's a stupid kasha, right? Kitanya Ahi. When was that brisa talking about? The Kamma le Halach, where the Ganav said, "Here's your cow, take it." So there was never a chance that he was going to end up being chayiv on something.
Before or after the shua?
No, after.
Then he made a shua on something that potentially still could at the time he made the shua, it potentially still could be he didn't return it, so we could still potentially be mechayiv him. Why does it matter that after the fact he did that? When he made the shua, I thought the problem was when you make the shua, you have potential to be mechayiv still. Because if you don't return it now, when you make the shua, you could be chayiv. Who cares if he did it afterwards? His shua was done on something that is moment. That was the shah of the Gemara.
Yeah. I think the pshat is that it was in front of them the whole time. Once he made the shvua, and then he gave
something could have come along and destroyed it. I'm just saying, like anything could have happened before he made the shvua.
I hear that. I
don't know why the shvua, why the fact you give it out right after the shvua matters. Your shvua is the problem.
I thought because I understood it. The pshat is that it was there. No, so it was there in front of them. So that works. Okay. So anyway, so we keep coming to the Kamma ba'agam. I was talking about where the shor is still in an agam. When the guy swears and the shor is still in an agam, so then you could have a problem, right? So then the Gemara says, fine. So ata machartli, you sold it to me. My maida be'ikar. What kind of maida be'ikar was he being maida? He said you sold it to me. It means he's saying it is my shor, right? We keep saying that he made the shvua. He's not denying that the shor belongs to the guy. What do you mean? He said he sold it. Like dummy, I didn't give you money. Shkil tarach Brazil, take your shor and get out of here. Meaning, so he did buy it, but he never paid for it. So he told him, here's your shor, it belongs to you. Okay, the other case, avicha nasnuli. You gave it to me, or your father gave it to me. My moed be'ikar, what kind of moed be'ikar is there? It was given to me that I do I did something nice for you. And I didn't do it. So take your shor back. Fine. Last case. Toya b'derech mitzasa. He says, I found your shor wandering around. So why shouldn't the guy say, well, if you found my shor, why is it in your property? Give it back to me. So he says, I'm swearing that I found it as an aveda, but I didn't know that it was yours. So basically he's swearing that he knows the animal's not his, but he had no idea who it belonged to. Right? So that would be the case of him being maida be'ikr, that the animal didn't belong to him. Fine. Tanya, so because of that, now we get into a different din, which we know the din is that if somebody knows information for somebody else in a court case, and the guy tells him, okay, I want you to testify for me. The guy if the guy says he doesn't want to testify, he has to swear that he does not know the testimony. If he knows the testimony, he's mechuyev to say it. If he swears that he doesn't know it, then it's okay, right? So Ben Azai says there's three types of swearing. Tanya Omer Ben Azai, Gimel Shvuas Hein. There's three types of shvuas. Hikirba b'loy b'maitza, if he recognized the mitzia, right? But he did not recognize the one who found it, right? Meaning he saw somebody's shor, let's say, walking in somebody else's house, in somebody else's yard, right? So Mamela, but he didn't remember whose yard he saw it in. Yeah, he's got he has a shvacha memory. The mites of a loiba, and he found it, but he knows the person who found it, but he doesn't know what the person found. Right? Meaning he didn't know whose animal it was. Loiba b'loiba mites. Or the third thing is he didn't know not the animal, and he didn't know the guy that found it. So Gemara says, if he didn't know whose animal it was, and he didn't know who the finder was, so then kushta shtava, he swore for the truth. Well, the answer is ema ba uva maitza. He says no. He not loiba but loiba ma'isa. It says he recognized it and the one that found it. Okay, so lamai hilchasa. What is Benazai saying? That there's three types of shvuas. Ravami Omar Chanina liptur. He means for ptur. Shmuel Omar l'chayev, that they're chayev. Like what's the pshat in the machlokes? Pluk tanoi, and they're going with the same machlokes tanoim. The Tanya hamashpia eid echad. So let's say somebody makes an eid echad, say a shvuah, that he doesn't know any information. Now that eid echad is not going to do anything for anybody anyways, right? Because an eid echad is not nema. So he makes him make a shvuah anyway. So now that shvuah, did it accomplish anything or not? So I'm mashpia eid echad potter. So if the guy lies, he's potter, right? Because there was no loss done. Rav Shimon says chayiv, right? Because there's a possibility that there will come along another aid, and then they'll have two aid. But my committee. So what's a pshan the machlokes? Marsav davar garam l'maman kamaman dami. One holds that something that's going to be the cause of money is like money. Umar savar lav kamaman dami, and one holds that it's not like mammon. Right? So it's the same machlokes. Is the potential for money there to be considered a shvuah or not? Fine. No new sugya. Amar Sheshes. Hakoyfer bepikadon. So we know that somebody who has a pikadon, right? That's from the shomer that we're discussing. Right? He's watching the thing, and the guy denies that it was. He denies that he was watching it. He says it's his own, and he swears. And then Adam come. Rashi says. So Nasal of Gazlan, then he becomes a Gazlan. And then if anything happened, right, then he's chayev. Meaning normally a shomer, depends what type of shomer he is, but once he denies it, and there's Adam, then he becomes a crook. The Tanatuna, we have a Tana to prove it, a Kicheshba, right, if a guy denies it, Lamandu, Einish. So that teaches us that he gets punished that if he lies. Azhar minayin, like every punishment in the Torah needs to have a pasuk to tell you what's wrong with it, and it has to have a warning. So Azhar minayin. So somebody see the din is from the Kichashba. Where's the Azhar from? Talmud loymar lois chachashu. Right, you should not deny. My love lo einish mammon. Isn't that talking about for the einish mammon? Right, meaning having nothing to do with the shvuah. He's going to get a punish. The Azhar is going to come to say that you get punished for making a false shvuah. Right? So now he's basically saying that the first case is he's getting punished for swearing. So the Gemara asks somebody Ketani Seifa, but we say in the Seifa that he swore. Meaning if you're talking about in the Seifa that he falsely swore, so then in the Reisha has to be talking about where he didn't swear. The Ketani Seifa, but Nishba al Sheker. The guy swears falsely. Lamandu Einish, that tells us the punishment. Azhara minayin, how do we know there's an Azhara that you're not allowed to? Tamalon, like Shakru. A person shouldn't lie. With the Sefer the Ishtava, so if the Sefer is talking about where there's a Shvuah Reisha, the Lay Ishtava, then the Reisha must be talking about where there's no Shvuah. When it says Amri Idi Ishtava, both are talking about where there was a Shvuah. Kan Shahida, one is talking about, meaning the second is talking about where he was made on his own. Kanchabo Adam, one is talking about where the Adam came. Also Adam, if Adam came, Chayav Einstein, he's Chayav in Einstein. I do ye ID, but if he's Maida, Chayav Bekeren, Bechaimish Asham, then he's Chayav in a Keren, and a Chaimish, and an Asham. So there's a difference between him being Maida on his own or Adam being Maida. Okay. All right, we'll stop over here. That's pretty good for starting the daf 20 minutes late. Parrots can't complain about that. You know it's a hard one. When it's a
100%.
And it wasn't that hard, I don't think, but yeah, we'll see the next couple of days. All right, Tillim, Pei Gimel. Shimmer's Malach Sof Alim Adam Iloch. Altechra Shal Tishkait El. Ki Hinei Oyevechu Yemoin Vasanecha Nasu Rosh. Al Amcha